A road movie, not about burning rubber down the highway so much as escaping a plucky group of assassins trying to rip your heart out. A science fiction action martial arts film choreographed by the director of Power Rangers and directed by a Japanese tokusatsu superhero mega fan. And most importantly, the martial arts spectacle that shows you how and why Mark Dacascos is an action star industry professionals respect and more audiences should really get to know. Hello and welcome to Not Now in Theaters. This is a retro and cult film podcast taking you back to movies we remember and why, or highlighting underseen films that could use some more love. I'm Will Turntail, a writer and film fan from California, and this is my look back at Drive 1997. Not to be confused with the Ryan Gosling-powered Drive 2011, Drive 1997 debuted on HBO and was then released straight to video. So this road movie went down the soon-to-be-forgotten lane, and yet it somehow detoured into cult classics territory. Of sorts. People who remember this movie really remember it, and action fans who find it today, like myself, seem to wonder just why the hell it was missing from their viewing history all these years. Director Steve Wang had envisioned the movie as a comedic action film, one he described as Jackie Chan by way of John Woo. But it's said the producers didn't believe in Wang for directing a comedy. So Wang handed in a script written by Scott Phillips for a taking it seriously action film. But the joke must have been on the producers, because if you've seen this wacky movie, well, you know a fly-straight action film is not what Wang delivered. Wang has said that the chaos of the production schedule and the wild atmosphere around the movie making gave him and stars Mark Dacascos and Kadeem Hardison the opportunity to ad-lib the movie the way they wanted it. Wang had gone rogue with his vision. Still, when he showed producers the dailies, raw, unedited footage from a day's shooting, they're said to have loved the film. And with the producers' faith now firmly in Wang, he was allotted more creative freedom and budget extensions. And finish the film Wang did, and evaluate it, now I will. So is Drive 1997 a good movie? A note here, the film's Wikipedia page lists a theatrical cut at 98 minutes and a director's cut at 118 minutes. This review is for the theatrical cut, I think.
Drive. This is the original Five Fingers of Death right here.
Yeah, the Five Fingers of Death gets a reference here in the trailer and dialogue, but there's nothing Shaw Brothers martial arts about this movie, for me anyway. Anyhow, the plot of Drive. Toby Wong is a former Hong Kong government agent, and like a bionic man, he's got some serious power under the hood. A cybernetic implant has granted him superhuman speed and strength. Toby has smuggled himself into San Francisco, where he's on the run from Vic Madison and his mercenaries, which include nutty sidekick Hedgehog. They are tracking Toby down for their client, Mr. Lau, the chairman of the company that made Toby's device. As Toby flees Vic and his assassins, he runs into a struggling songwriter named Malik Brody. The two become fast friends, and Toby offers Malik a deal. Drive him down to Los Angeles, and he'll split the $5 million bounty Toby's going to get when he sells the implant to a rival company. As Toby and Malik make their way to San Francisco, they end up in some serious battles with Vic's men, have an awkward time with young lady Deliverance Bodine, and face off in the ultimate battle against the advanced model. Will Toby and Malik survive one hell of a drive? And to walk you through this fine cast here, the film stars Mark Dacascos, John Piper Ferguson, Tracy Walter, James Shigeta, Kadeem Hardison, Brittany Murphy, and Masaya Kato. And you can read the rest of the main cast here in the transcript. So what's good about Drive? A lot of things. The first one we'll call Flippity Flippity Kickity Kickity, and it's going to earn 8 points. Standout action films are distinctive, taking on their own personalities. Die Hard has that all-American John McClane in a dirty tank top finding a way to improvise against the odds. A movie like The Raid is just pure brutality and unbelievable immersion. Well, Drive's fight choreography is a unique house blend of stunning acrobatics, improvisational use of the environment, and whirlwind kicks. The style was sorted out by fight choreographer Koichi Sakamoto, who was known for working on the Power Rangers franchise. But don't let that throw you, okay? This isn't some weird thing where everyone does katas, explosions go off, and then they eventually summon Zords. There's a beauty but hard-hitting quality going on. And that style works because, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Dacascos. Here, as the enhanced Toby, the guy must be at the peak of his powers and is absolutely sizzling in this movie. Dacascos brings a nimble elegance to the fight choreography that is unique to his martial arts style. Like a pixie who will smack you up, Dacascos bobs and weaves out of the way of punches and kicks, almost like an inflatable wavy-armed tube man outside a car dealership, but one that can fight. And he descends from buildings with the precision of a gymnast dismounting. But what sells the performance are Dacascos' precise balletic turns. Always taking a fighting stance, he sets himself apart and looks 2 steps ahead of his enemies. And if you don't know who Mark Dacascos is, well, he played the Native American character in Brotherhood of the Wolf, a movie I really need to do on this podcast. He's also the chairman of Iron Chef America, which always cracks me up, a la cuisine. And of course, he snagged a role in John Wick 3 Parabellum as the Assassin Zero. And there are, if I counted them right, 5 solid action sequences in this movie. The hotel battle is the most spectacular of them all. It lasts nearly 15 minutes with different little bits in it, such as an improvised escape from a hotel room, and Toby fistfighting against the odds in a garage against groups of assassins armed with electrified stun batons. It's the little details that got me. There's a moment when Dacascos ducks out of the way, slides down the side fender of an old Ford Deuce Coupe, then chucks a cart at the enemy. The moment is very Jackie Chan, what with the improvisation, but it's all Dacascos' amazing style. Next up, the film has humorous henchmen and screwball sidekicks, which is going to earn 4 more points. In between all the action set pieces, and sometimes during them, the characters will keep you entertained. Vic, who is trying to capture or maybe just kill Toby, is a crusty cowboy. He loves himself some chicken and taters and quips that sometimes violence may just be the answer. He's the king of assassins but cruises in a motorhome. But somehow, all the tough and cantankerous cowboy stuff works. His best line might be when he asks Bob Marley, aka Malik, to quit his wailing. Vic's henchman number 1 is Jack Nicholson's Joker's henchman number 1, as in Bob, as in Tracy Walter. You know Tracy Walter, right? If you don't, he's Miller in Repo Man, or that sidekick of Arnold's in Conan the Destroyer, the thief guy. But here is Hedgehog, yeah, he's just there to smile and look a little off, which is perfect. I don't know if Brittany Murphy's character, Deliverance, is an actual reference to John Boorman's 1972 movie Deliverance, but it seems like Murphy was told to be sexy and aggressive and just went into some kind of unhinged performance that director Steve Wang must have approved of. Whatever is going on here with Deliverance, it is bizarre. She is possibly a teenager, completely left alone to run a motel and garage off the highway, absolutely thirsty for Malik and or Toby. Murphy is really truly hamming it all up and laying it all on thick. She's skipping with glee, being an absolute close talker with Jerry Seinfeld would not approve of when she emphasizes the X in ex-boyfriend, and, well, making a rate of 1 line of innuendo towards the guys about every 20 seconds. The crown jewel is probably when she refers to Malik as Chocolate Boy Wonder, a line that apparently Kadeem Hardison told her to say, she was alright with. Next up, the movie has a tone that's all over the place, which is going to add 3 points. Look, for this movie to work, you don't want to take it seriously. It doesn't truly make any sense, and that's the joy of it, okay? Why Malik, a struggling songwriter, would be good at fighting and okay with flat out shooting people to death sometimes, just let any morality question fall right away. But what helps you settle into all that is the movie's tone. It's a tone you really can't nail down because, frankly, it's all over the place. In 1 minute, Malik is in a gunfight and suddenly finds, of all things, a chainsaw. He actually full-on chops an assassin's hand off with it, but the gun flies up and accidentally shoots in the air, killing the assassin, which is goofy. Minutes later, an explosion goes off, and suddenly it is an homage to Gone with the Wind. There's that melodramatic rising of the score, and as if we're in a golden age romance, Malik dips Deliverance down in a romantic, slow-motion sway. And late in the film, Mark Dacascos, aka Toby, serenades us with a song and dance routine, complete with a vintage microphone. The movie lightning switches from serious Hong Kong-style action, more on that in a second, into silly comedy or odd references. So yeah, next up it is the movie's Hong Kong style and influence, which adds 2 points. Director Steve Wang's cast and crew were influenced by Hong Kong. I mean, who isn't, right? And with the intensity of some of the stunts, foes going whipping into heavy objects and flung about, this movie has the Hong Kong of the 1980s and early 1990s imprint to it. But the humor of Jackie Chan is here as well. My favorite moment of the film might be when Toby, facing a group of foes with electrified batons, dramatically cuts off a pair of boots and slips them onto his fists. As Toby dramatically postures a "come and get some" to the goons, it reminded me of that moment in the original Transporter movie where he got stuck in the grease fight and clipped his feet into the bike pedals to get the upper hand because he couldn't slip anymore. It's that kind of humor. So what's not so good in Drive 1997? Well, first up, it's the downside of the whole warped movie thing, which is going to remove 3 points. So while the film is enjoyable because it is tonally strange and all over the place, that cuts both ways for me. There are times when I liked this ridiculous nature of the movie, but other times where it's like, well, I don't know what I'm watching anymore. A lot of things in the film just don't make sense, but that's okay. You're supposed to just go with it. The fact that Malik is a struggling alcoholic singer-songwriter yet capable of fighting back against these well-trained assassins, like I said, is bunk. And that's fine. But the oddities expand, because you have this world that at times seems cartoony, and other times, well, people are in SWAT gear and really intent on killing, bashing down doors with Dutch angle shots coming in. For no reason, we end up at a bar that is Apollo 14, and everyone is wearing space gear. There are rockets and all, and this is the venue for our final showdown, kind of like a bizarro Chuck E. Cheese, but for adults. But in a moment, people on motorbikes burst in and start shooting, riddling the backs of fleeing innocent bystanders with bullet holes. So as much as the wackiness made me like the movie, there were scenes where it risks pulling itself apart. And how can I forget the uncomfortable moment when Vic starts fighting Malik with, yes, a whip. So the optics of a Southern guy whipping a black guy are impossible to ignore, to the point that Malik, in what I think is an improvised line from Kadeem Hardison, calls out what's happening. And while the movie has a feel-good vibe, that disguises but doesn't stop what Malik and Toby are actually up to. They aren't actually good guys at all. They're more like criminals. They've got stolen, smuggled goods, and they're gonna go sell them to some company for $5 million, shooting or beating the men trying to stop them. So while the oddness is cool overall, the minute you pay too much attention to it is the minute the film might stop working for you. And if you think about the movie's morality, yeah, it's not on our hero's side, is it? Lastly, family ties? This takes away 2 points. At the beginning of the movie, there is some effort made to make sure you like the motivations of Malik. Toby and Malik go over to Malik's house to saw off a pair of handcuffs that were attaching the two of them together. And we meet Malik's ex-wife, who sits there in the window, cluing Toby into the fact that she actually still loves Malik despite finding her new boyfriend and trying to move on with her life. But little comes of this. We never meet Malik's daughter, nor her mysterious boyfriend, whom Malik despises. This subplot lets us know why Malik will help Toby, but it's underutilized stuff. Maybe it's a budget issue why there wasn't more to it, but I found it odd. So Drive earns 12 points. On my scale of let's not watch, should I watch, or go watch this movie, oh yeah, it's gonna get a go watch rating. This movie is so much fun, and the fact that I wasn't expecting any of that made it all the better. Mark Dacascos and the rest of the cast and crew did so much excellent work here, and I want more people to enjoy what is a solid, quirky, hopefully not so forgotten film from the 1990s here. Sure, it's totally strange, and at times almost off-putting, but if you want an action film you can just turn on and cruise with, yeah, Drive is for you. You would never guess that what is essentially a B movie would have some of the best action you've seen out of the 1990s. But I can tell you the fight choreography and execution in this movie is absolutely fun to watch. The Legacy of Drive. So what's the legacy of Drive 1997? Naturally, the film has become a bit of a cult film with positive Reddit threads or other mentions out there that you can find. According to martial artist and film performer Scott Adkins on his Scott Adkins podcast, in an interview with Dacascos that I watched, he says the film is well respected in the martial arts and stunt world. And I would believe it. Adkins, if I remember correctly, refers to it as one of the best 1990s action films. Drive has had physical media releases, including a 4K Blu-ray from 88 Films that came out in 2022. I didn't recognize him, but IMDb's trivia page for the film says that one of the cops who enters the bar is played by the one and only David Hayter. If you don't know him, he wrote X-Men 2000, The Scorpion King, and Watchmen. At least the script for the adaptation of Watchmen. Alan Moore wrote Watchmen, the comic. But I think the most relevant thing for most people about David Hayter is that he was the voice actor for Solid Snake in the English language version of the Metal Gear video games. There are two nods to the movie Leon the Professional. When all the guys come to take our heroes down at the motel, they wear black outfits and ski masks as an homage to that film. But it was also because the actors were white guys who were played by the Alpha Stunts team there in the scene. So it, obscured their identities. But there's another nod to The Professional when Mr. Lau gets asked which implants to boost and shouts, "Everyone!" Wasn't a very good impression, but you know the Gary Oldman line where he shouts everyone? Alright, there you go. If you're wondering, the TV show that people watch in the film, Walter the Einstein Frog, is completely made up by director Steve Wang. I wish it was real, because I was really curious what could be so bizarre there. I want to hang out with Walter the Einstein Frog. Even though I'm not an artist, I love writing the movie posters in these reviews. Well, something weird is happening here. This 4K Ultra HD poster put the word drive on it in speed font. And if you want to see it, you can click on the link here in the transcript or go to the links in the bottom section at the bottom of this transcript. But yeah, like I said, this 4K Ultra HD poster put the word drive on it in the speed font, as in the Keanu Reeves movie. What's especially funny is the tagline is "Speed kills if you ain't going fast enough." So you can tell they had speed on their mind when they made the Drive logo. They're exactly the same. And that tagline also has nothing to do with the movie, but whatever. Then there's this poster, which you can see with the links at the bottom or here in the transcript, where Kadeem Hardison looks like he is Eddie Murphy from Beverly Hills Cop. Weird. That's not even how his hair was in the movie. His dreads are gone. And the blue jeans and shirt that Dacascos is wearing? Yeah, not his wardrobe in the movie either. Though you have to say this poster, with the almost 1980s look to it, is the winner. There are circuit-looking things in the background, the car speeding on the highway, bullet holes in the sides, hazy light from the taillights and blasting into the sunset. And you've got Dacascos and crew looking ready, with Toby doing the kick-ass kick. I really like the work from whatever artist drew this one. Maybe it'll be a movie poster I can find and get on my movie poster wall. The original fight at the Apollo 14 restaurant was supposed to include wire work and go all the way up to the top of the rocket too, but budget constraints meant it was scrapped. It's still a good ending battle, but yeah, that would have driven home the Hong Kong influences even more. Lastly, you know how the car gets damaged early in the movie? Well, it's said on IMDb's trivia page for the film that when the car got sideswiped, it actually crushed the right front wheel, knocking it off the axle. The car was undrivable. This was terrible because the production needed to shoot more scenes with it the next day, and being a low-budget movie, it's not like they had backup cars all around, I'm assuming, right? But luck would have it that a bystander watching the filming was a mechanic who offered to help fix it. And voila, the car was ready the next day. So thank you to that mechanic, whoever you are, because you are the hidden MVP of this movie getting made. Okay, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you will check out Drive 97 if you haven't seen it before. If you like this episode, be sure to subscribe for more wherever you're listening from. New episodes of this podcast usually come out weekly. No guarantees, but the next episode is likely to be 1985's House. It's a horror comedy that does the comedy arguably more than the horror, and it's just so much fun. It's a film with a light budget, but tons of creativity that spawned a cult franchise, and I can't wait to talk all about what I enjoyed so much about it. I had never seen it before. I don't know why. Anyhow, that's all for now, and I'll see you next week. This podcast episode is a production copyright of Overaked Media LLC, located in Sacramento, California. Reference photos linked in the transcript are copyrighted by the Internet Movie Database. This review's factual information was gathered through online sources like Wikipedia, IMDb, or interviews. Misrepresentations and errors are possible, but unintentional. The introduction music is Neon Laser Horizon by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. And the exit music and additional music, they are also by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com, also licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 license. The names of those tracks are Voxel Revolution, Cupid's Revenge, Cyborg Ninja, Mega Hyper Ultra Storm, and Proto Funk. See you next time.